Okay, welcome back. We're on page 552 talking about how to get your brand new web page into the system. So basically what you have to do is you got to go to the web page. You're probably going to have to sign in, and of course in Google the account is free. You don't have to pay any money. So you sign in. There's a spot where you can say enter my new web page, and so you type in a URL, and it will immediately send a bot to your website and start looking at it. Okay. Now, it doesn't mean that the search engine results pages are going to change, because remember I talked about these databases are scattered all over the world, right? So a bot goes and does its thing. It's going to take a while for that to replicate to all these other things. So typically, we're talking about 12 to 24 hours before you would expect to find it. When I did mine, I don't know, years ago, I went to Google and I went to several other ones, because back then there was more than one. And I typed in my URL and hit badunk. And it was like, I don't know, 10 hours later, I was hitting Google and there it was popping up. I was finding my website. So it's kind of cool. All right. They're not saying how long it takes. I'm just telling you from personal experience, about 24 hours is about right. So you would type something in there, and people should be able to type in Beanie Babies and find your Beanie Baby shop within 24 hours. Cool. Now, there are other ways you can do this. If you want to pay money, if you go down here to the business section, you can go in there and say, I want what's called express treatment or express services, where I want to be now. And so you pay extra to have the bot come search your web page, and you get put in to the database as fast as humanly possible, rather than whenever they get around to it kind of a thing. So yes, you can pay extra to make that happen. Okay. The next thing I talk about is advertising. Now, this is a little weird because advertising on the web has two faces, okay? One, advertising that you pay for to get people to come to your website, and then advertising that you put on your website so you can generate money. Okay, we're not talking about that one. Right now, we're talking about the advertising that you pay for to get people to come to your website. Okay, cool. All right. So there's a Google AdWords is a good one. This is the name of the program is AdWords, and basically you go in and you can talk to a specialist, or you can go through the system. Basically, what it does is it says, "Pay us money, and we'll make sure you get other advertising in other places." Now, you've seen this, right? And how much money you want to pay depending on how deep you want to go. You know, for example, I'm searching for Beanie Babies, and over in one corner, maybe I'll get a splash ad that says, you know, in fact, the story I always talk about is, you know, my dog has hemorrhoids, and so I'm searching for hemorrhoids, and for days after that, I get emails from people, you know, trying to sell me Preparation H. You know, for days. Why? Because somebody paid Google to gather that kind of information and send spam out. So every time I went to Amazon.com, I would get a little banner ad for Preparation H just because I did a search for hemorrhoids. Okay? So that's what we're talking about. And just how much money you want to spend is how deep that rabbit hole you want to go. So what Google does, there's three costing models, and we'll go through this. The first one is called the cost per click. And basically this means every time that your ad is clicked on, you get charged. So that's one way, that is the way that Google does theirs. If somebody clicks on your ad, you get a charge. So here's the weird part. In your advertising budget, you say, well, you know, I've got $5,000 in my advertising budget. That ought to cover it. Well, to tell you the truth, excuse me, you don't know. Because if you do a good job of advertising and people start clicking on those ads that get you to your website, right? So is your advertising budget going to be the same every month? Not really. It's kind of hard for you to tell how much that advertising is going to cost, right? Okay. So that's one costing model, the pay-per-view kind of a thing. So it's cost per click. Every time somebody clicks on your ad and clicks on an ad that results in them going to your website, you get charged money. Okay. The other one is called, simpler, it's cost per 1,000 impressions, and that's a printing term, so don't worry about what that actually means. You can skip that, but the abbreviation is CPM. And that's every 1,000 times someone has viewed your ad. Okay? Not necessarily clicked, but has seen it. So every time someone sees it, every 1,000 times someone's seen it, you get charged money. Okay? And then once again, how much money do I budget for that? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. And then the third one is kind of a combination of the two. It's called a click-through rate. And so it's sort of like the ratio of the people who have seen the ad and have clicked on it to get to you. So it's like a combination of the two. You get paid, charged by how many people seen the ad and how many people that actually go through. So it's kind of a combination of the two. Cool? All right, so once again, we're talking about advertising you're paying for to get people to come to your website. All right, cool. So one of the things they talk about later on that page, they talk about a sitemap. And the sitemap is designed basically to show the bot what the structure of your web page is. And it may actually be helpful for the humans as well to have a link somewhere on your web page that shows the sitemap of everything there is to see. You know, all the internal structure and where all the things are. And so some humans like that. I don't have an example to show you because my website isn't that complex. You don't really need a sitemap to be able to get around it. But there's two kinds of sitemap. The one designed for humans, because that's just done in HTML, right? Then they have an XML version, which is really designed strictly for the bots. Now, thankfully, you don't have to build these things at all. There's some companies out there that you can go to, lots and lots of sitemap generators. In fact, if you just Google sitemap generator, you can get these free things. You just point it to your website, it'll go ding, and it'll either produce you the XML version, and then you would send a link to that XML version to Google. And it has some cool stuff in it. For example, it has an estimate of how often this particular section of the web page is going to change. You know, this section over here is going to change once a month. This section over here is going to change once a week. And this section over here is going to be changing hourly. And so it provides information to Google on how to schedule their bots, right? You're helping them. You're helping them going, well, I don't need to send this bot out there to change this part about once a month. But over here, I need to send the bot out a couple of times a week. Cool? All right, so it's helpful. All right. And, of course, humans, too. And then there's a thing called alliances. And this is like when search engine people get together. For example, Yahoo used to be a standalone search engine all by itself. Okay, in fact, they were one of the first. But now, Yahoo is just a front end to Google. They actually use the Google search engine. The only difference is Yahoo uses their own advertising system, not the Google advertising system. So Yahoo uses the Google search engine for its results page, but not their advertising. They have their own advertising. Cool? All right. And so, yeah, there's an awful lot of alliances out there. So now that I got this up and running, what, I'm done? Well, no, you really need to monitor this stuff. So on page 554, they talk about manually checking. So several things you ought to check. One is, what ranking am I in the web page, on the search engine results page? Because if I'm on like number 14 and then I drop to 22, like, whoa, something happened here. Maybe I need to put something else in there. And the second is, check to see what keywords get you there and which ones do not. You know, type in words in the search engine and see what comes up. Kind of fiddle with it, you know, manually. Okay, that works if you have a small website, right? But there are companies out there that do web analysis for a living. Once again, Google Analytics. This is a fantastic system. And for most people, this analysis is completely free. Yes, there are paid systems, but let me explain how it happened. I've told you guys this story before, but I'll tell you again. Okay, so I wanted to know how well my website was going. So I went to here, And I said, hey, I want to turn on the analysis. And what they said was, okay, great. Here's a meta tag that I want you to put inside your web page that basically authorizes us to perform this analysis. Two purposes. It's a meta tag that tells the bot, please collect a heck of a lot more information than normal. And then secondly, it proves that you are the owner of the website, right? Because if you have permission to go to that website and add a meta tag, clearly you have permissions on the website, and most likely it's your website. Okay, so that's step one. They give you a meta tag, you slip it into the page, and then poof, and they collect data for a while, and then you come back to there and you got a ton of information. The amount of stuff in there is unbelievably detailed. Let me just give you some examples. They will tell you what keyword people typed in that got you there. Okay? So, for example, they finally got to your website, but they misspelled beanie. Okay? Maybe there's two spellings. There's a British spelling and an English spelling for the word that you weren't not aware of at all. And you could go, whoa, why is it that 22% of my people are misspelling this stupid word? Okay. So you need to go in and start putting that as a keyword. Remember the keyword thing in the meta tag? The other spelling of the words. Because if it's a British spelling of the word and you're using the English spelling, we got problems, don't we? Okay, so what word they typed in to get to you is very important. Okay. It also has all sorts of cool information, like what kind of machine they're on, what kind of browser they're using, what country they're from, what language they're from, what time of day. Let's say, for example, you're blissfully ignorant selling Beanie Babies. You don't have a clue. And then you find out that, 15% of the people are from Denmark. And you're going, Denmark? I didn't even know they had a Beanie Baby craze in Denmark. Maybe I had to find somebody to do a translation for my webpage. And then, so you spend a few bucks and get somebody to do a translation for your webpage. And then, poof, your sales explode. How would you have known that otherwise? Web analytics. Okay, there's an awful lot of web analytics out there. A lot of them cost money. The simple one that I'm just talking about, the one that Google provides for free, it's remarkable. I was stunned when I started looking at the statistics, going, wow, I had no idea that people were coming from other languages or other regions. Okay, let's talk about link popularity. There is a way that you can find out how many people are linking to your website, okay? So basically all you do is you use the link keyword. So I say link, and you type in the domain name. Now, not the www stuff, but just the domain name itself. Okay, so I'm trying to find out how many people are linking to my website. And thump, and here they all are. And I've got a gazillion people that are linking. I've got 10 pages of people that are linking to my website. Right? Tons and tons and tons of people that are going in here trying to link to my website. Isn't that pretty cool? All right. So this tells me basically how active other people are using. How many other people are using your webpage? Okay, that'd be kind of cool. All right. Actually, some of this is not really linking, is it? It just happens to be the name. But anyway, so yes, that's a cool way to find out how many people how many other people are using your web page as a source. Kind of cool. Okay, this is a good place to stop for the 15-minute mark. We'll pick this thing up again in just a few.